Skipping out.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
That was a weak one right there. That's
That
my
was.
bad, guys. I could try again, but probably be as bad. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, August 25th, 2025 regular meeting of the Monroe Local School District Board of Education. Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Mr. Carpenter?
Present.
Mr. Fulham?
Here.
Mr. Grant?
Here.
Mrs. Hagedorn? Here. Mr. Leeds is absent with notice.
Would everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Hagedorn. Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Mr. Grant?
Aye.
Mrs. Hagedorn? Aye. Mr. Fulham?
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter?
Aye, motion carried. Section 2, Board Liaison and Committee Updates. Item 2.1, Legislative. Mr. Fulham.
Yeah, it's been relatively quiet in Columbus with session being out since the end of July, but there's definitely a lot of rumblings and discussions around overturning some additional vetoes that the governor made. House Speaker Matt Huffman said that more overrides are coming, including for the other two postponed property tax measures. Those are expected to be on the docket with lawmakers when they return in the fall, possibly in October. I know the Senate had at least one or two items that were going to be in their hands as well, so it looks like they're taking action to undo some of the things that Governor DeWine vetoed. So we'll see how that affects us. Also, I want to make sure the board is aware that County Auditor Nancy Nix has publicly warned of another significant property tax increase following the upcoming 2026 state mandated reappraisal. Property values are projected to rise between 13 and 25%, but I'm hearing Monroe can expect around 17%. But we'll see, those numbers are kind of pulled out of the air. So
Awesome.
just
She
got
also stood right here and told us that we would have the lowest increase the last time,
yeah,
so
pretty sure we got the highest, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly.
that is correct.
When their lips are moving.
Yeah, and you know, we've got a lot of things to consider and conversations to have, but obviously these are things that are out of our direct control, and we're just trying to do what we can with the information.
Yep.
That's all I've got for legislative today.
All right. Any other comments about the legislative process in Ohio?
I'll keep them to myself.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right. Thank you, Mr. Fulham. Moving on to Section 2.2, Butler Tech. Mr. Guido.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, members of the board. Thank you for having me. I will be brief tonight. I do have, obviously, school started off, everything went off without a hitch. It seems like that gets earlier every single year. I think we have another 6 months before Labor Day is here, so we'll see what happens. But welcome back to you guys as well. Not a lot going on. I mean, it's still pretty brand new. Dr. Sprankles wanted me to share with you guys that Butler Tech, as well as Monroe, is participating in the handshake competition. Are you guys aware of that? There's a handshake competition, and it is the winner of this here local competition. The middle school winner of the district will go to Atlanta to the Ron Clark Great Handshake Contest. I don't know. I know that every student at Butler Tech participated in the handshake. As crazy as that is, I know that from, we have interns that come in and, you know, I mean, my dad and everybody taught me how to do that, but they don't really do that today. And it's I think the cell phones and everything has been a part of that. So it's pretty neat. And I know they're doing that here at Monroe as well through our satellite program. So who knows? Might have a student here going to Atlanta from Monroe. Let's do it. I think we have the talent. And then I have early numbers of enrollment. We have 129 students attending 4 of the campuses, not the satellite, but 4 of our campuses. That represents 6.7% of our district. Down a little bit from the past, but it's not that far off. So why I say right now is because some of it's still a little bit fluid. Some people start the programs and say it's not for me, and then we still bring some students in through that lottery process. So construction updates are, it seems like every day, but if you just drive by I-75, you can see all the steel going up on the red building. So that's exciting. And then I don't know if you guys saw on social media, but we celebrated John Graff's retirement at our last meeting. So as AJ was saying, or asking, what is the room that we did? It says, so we named where the board meets, as well as most of the district meetings are held in that space. And we've renamed that space the John Graff Innovation Center to recognize all the innovation that he brought to the district and do from that. What was not put in that post is that the board also agreed to name one of our campuses after John. And so that is still in the works, so we're excited to do that. It could potentially be the Natural Science Center, but I did say the Guido Graft Natural Science Center sounded pretty good. So, he brought a lot to the district and the county, and we're certainly thrilled with what he did. So, any questions for me?
No?
No? On a side note, I did the chains again with Mr. Leeds and had an exciting start to the football season, and I did want to tell Debbie that the band sounded fantastic as usual.
Thank you very much.
So,
Those
and they
kids-
looked good. I loved that they wore their uniforms.
Yes, it was the first Friday in,
Yeah.
I know, 4 years that I've been with the Guard, that they've worn their full uniforms on a Friday, at the first Friday game. So the weather
Yeah.
was fabulous for that.
I think this Friday is going to be equally as fabulous. So.
Yes, yeah, this is perfect football weather.
Yeah. The old alumni, Old Monroe, that's what I kept hearing from everybody is, oh my God, they got their uniforms on. So, but good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr. Guido. Moving on to item 2.3, Finance Subcommittee.
Yeah, just a brief update. We met on August 11th, and we had a productive discussion reviewing historical data on staffing costs and levels. And I'll let Mrs. Moore elaborate a bit on that, and she can touch on it in her treasurer's report.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Fulham. Moving on to item 2.4, Student Achievement. Mrs. Hagedorn.
So I'd like to share that the 9th grade day was a huge success. The 9th grade students were broken down into smaller groups, and each group met with different staff members throughout the day. And at the end of the day, they had a cookout at the stadium, and there was lots of parent and student feedback was very productive about that, so very positive. I'd like to do a huge shout out to the high school staff members who put this special day together. They are Sam Fry, Jill Monroe, Chris Napier, and Ashley Boggs. They plan to do it again next year and do something different and a little fun with the other students, 10th, 11th, and 12th grades. So it's kind of good to get the students involved and introduced into the high school. I'd like to congratulate the 8th grade students for being inducted into the National Junior Honor Society, and that ceremony is held next week on September 3rd. I'd also like to mention in this that the students are doing a great job with the new cell phone policy. The students cannot have their cell phones on their person, then it must be in their bag or their locker. And that lunch has gone very well. Students are engaged in having conversations and communicating with each other, playing games, and that they're seeing a lot of more social interaction with the students. And so the teachers are very pleased with this, and there has been a lot of support from the family, so that's working out very well for everybody. And since it's the beginning of the school year, obviously I don't have any visitors this board meeting, but hopefully next board meeting we'll have some interactions from the students. That's all for that.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Hagedorn. Moving on to Section 3, Communications, Item 3.1, Comments from the Public, and having none, I will move on to Item 3.2, Fanning and Howie Construction Update.
All right, I am going to call Thad Roden here up in a second, and he's going to talk a little bit about the progress and where we are in the whole process with the design for the new high school. We, almost immediately after the bond issue passed, we started, working with OFCC to select architecture and engineering firm and the CMR, the construction company. And so obviously Fanning Howie is our architect firm and Robertson Construction is the construction company. But almost immediately we started working with students. Mr. Prohaska and I met with a group of high school students monthly all last year, and a big part of that was, talking about, even though they're not going to be here, their wants and needs for a new building. We've also involved staff. There's been a staff committee that's met regularly with Mr. Prohaska and the team from Fanning Howie. In addition to that, the students and staff visited numerous high schools in the area to look at different designs, additions, different high schools in the area to, again, look at, get ideas as we dive into this design process. And so Mr. Roden here is going to share kind of where we are right now, but I just want to remind everybody we're still pretty early in the design process. We really, you start with what they call the program of requirements, and that is basically looking at the number of kids you have, the different programs you have, and the square footage that is allotted through OFCC, and they try to, right now, just kind of lay out spaces. So again, it's very rough and nothing is finalized yet. Which one do you want?
The next one. It's out of order. That's okay. Thank you. Perfect.
And then he's also going to talk about the timeline a little bit, so.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Buskirk.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President, Vice President, and Board. So today is just a kind of high-level view of the process that we're going to be going through and the schedule. And just real quick, has anyone gone through a process like this, design, construction of this scale? It's fun. That's the whole point of this. Is supposed to be fun. And we started actually February 2024 in this cafeteria doing some visioning, and we partnered with our educational visioning leader there at the time to just really get a good sense of the pulse of Monroe. Where do we want to be on the educational spectrum? And that was really great. And then in April of this year, we took that as a foundation. And like Robert said, we met with the staff of the high school. We met with we have a teacher leader group that is just cannot say more great things about them. Fantastic on their input and guidance. But the whole point of that effort in April and May of this year was really to align and start having a mutual dialogue, a mutual language to talk about the project for Monroe. And so it kind of felt like maybe to some a little slow start, but the actuality is far from the truth. We were able to really build a lot of consensus in those, and really, a lot was done over summer. So what you see up there is the visioning, and then what Robert said is kind of the program verification and schematic design. They all blend in each other. They all kind of inform, what the design can be. And so we have building tours, we have feedback sessions. And so if you go to the next one. So in the greater scheme of things, this is early on in the whole process. And the idea of here is, and this is where we are today, is really understanding what all the spaces we need in the new school. Why are we putting spaces where we're putting them? How many? How many classrooms? How big of athletic areas? So all that kind of, gets to get highlighted in that blue circle called schematic design. And then from there, we kind of have, and what you'll see today is the sign off of saying, yeah, you're in the ballpark, you're doing great. This really does represent a lot of the feedback that we've gotten. And then we move and we work with Robertson, who's our CM, a construction manager, in continuing to develop the design and responding to market conditions, cost, those types of things. And then looking ahead into next year, which is really exciting, we'll be breaking ground in that March, April timeline. So this is called an early site package. So by that time, we really know where the building's going to be. We know how it's going to be built. And then we have an engineer that's going to help us develop all the site improvements to start that. So we can actually break ground at that point. We'll finish out the building design, and then in summer, we're ready to go vertical. So that's kind of the overall schedule and process, but it all kind of began just with conversations with staff, with teachers, with the district. Any questions about the schedule?
So is it break ground March, April in 27?
2026.
26. We're in 25 now. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I was
No.
a year behind.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and that's,
Okay.
that's just for the site work. So, lots of things have to go in as far as underground utilities, big trenches and holes and doing all of that, moving dirt. Really great to be able to do that ahead of, not waiting for that building to get all the way along.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay? Okay, the fun stuff. All right, and we can zoom in because my old eyes cannot even see that.
It's
If
at the
the,
bottom.
just this one click would be good, yeah. There we go,
There we
perfect,
go,
that's great.
okay.
Whoever did that, that's awesome. So just to kind of orient everyone, sorry, I'm moving away from the podium. Hornet Drive is right here. We're up here, we're back here today. This is the high school parking lot. And the field that is adjacent, just north of Butler Tech, has kind of been our primary focus. We did look at the whole site just to see some different ideas. This is the most conducive for developing the size of a high school for the building and for all of the infrastructure needed. This site right here really said we need to kind of focus on that area. So from there, it was understanding how we're getting access to the site through a new drive and parking area, and then locating a building in a location on the site, because it seems flat, but it's not. It kind of falls from the baseball field all the way down, and then kind of starts getting kind of steep there. So finding that perfect spot for the building and its size to make sure that we're not just moving a ton of dirt just to make something work when we could have moved it, left, right, north, south. So we really focused on those kind of things early on, just to kind of get a good sense of how to balance the site. So taking you kind of through your entry, your arrival. So as soon as you get to the top of Hornet Drive, you're looking at the front of the building right here. So the main entrance is going to be right here, and then there's going to be a parking area just in front, and you'll be able to come in, and this is going to kind of be your main kind of community parent access to this, and then it's going to be also right now about 80 parking spaces. The idea is that we can reuse a lot of the spaces that are right here. Just proximity-wise, we're saving some money on that. We're saving a lot of site development on that, and we can work on making good connections between that parking area and the school. The other aspect is that this frontage is visible from 63 coming down. So when you're coming over that hill and going down to the intersection, you're going to see this school. And it's going to look really awesome right there on kind of the top of the perch right there. So another consideration that we were having is the fact that we have all of these athletic fields going on up here, and we have all of this bus parking that's happening in between. We kind of heard it. We want connection between the two schools. Doesn't have to be right there against it, but we want some ability to be able to get from the high school to the existing school in some manner that did not go across parking lots or parking areas or vehicular areas. And that was born of safety, security on campus. So the idea here was then to take the actual existing bus parking and just move it up in between the tennis courts and the back portion of the building right here. Have enough spaces to be able to accommodate all the buses and be able to have them turn around, And then kind of a bonus is then we can have that for after-hours parking for athletics if necessary. So now we have this nice open kind of quad-type connection between the school and our new school that we can be able to kind of move back and forth with. So another thing about being able to kind of push the building in this manner is, we allow for that kind of green space, open space here, but we also still preserve some field back here. So we're able to put more, this would be probably reserved for staff parking, in the back right here, and would have a drive come a little further down off of that access road, come around the building, and be able to have a drive. And that's also would be for loading and for other services that are not educational. So being able to have that back there is kind of key to make sure it's not in the way of any other school function. And we have a nice little field that we preserved there. It's about 50 yards if you kind of can't tell, just to kind of left over there to be able to utilize. The building itself, so talking about how it breaks down, classrooms are on the south side, and classrooms are arranged in a way to be able to use extended learning areas. So we're not just talking about narrow corridors between classrooms. We're talking about functional space for learning either independently or guided or as groups. So a lot of this happens in this two-story wing of the building. And then this area is what we're calling the learning on display. And that's going to be your science labs. That's going to be STEM, marketing. These are highly dynamic spaces that you really do want to showcase. That they're not your kind of typical 800, 900 square foot classrooms. So we've really focused that part of the program there. And then in the middle, we're opening it up for, again, more kind of extended learning and more areas for group learning with students. This was a lot of feedback that we got not only from the students, but we got it from the teachers and we got it from the building tours. So some really great stuff, there we think we've incorporated. Athletics is on to the north side. We have the gym, we have an auxiliary gym, we have all the kind of supporting spaces around that. We have the kitchen that's going to be serving kind of the nest, as it was called, but the cafe. And then we have administration here also to the front left, where we are kind of, again, positioned to be able to maximize safety, security, sight lines, across the whole front of the building. But overall, if you kind of just think about the logic of the building, athletics, that kind of assembly, common spaces, then it kind of blends into that assembly education, and then pure education. And so right now, we're kind of at the end of schematic design. We've gotten to a point where things are just really working well, not only from the program, but the layout and the site, that we're able to kind of wrap this phase up, give it over to the construction manager, and start talking about constructability, costs, those types of things. That was a very compressed explanation of what's been going on for the past several months. Did I miss anything?
Music.
Music?
Excuse me. Right there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Vocal and music are kind of here at the center, and they have access to the fields and that for practice and those types of things.
Question about the busing parking. So that is not connected. The only way to get to that would be around the north side of the
Yeah, I'm
building.
going to kind of imaginary line around there.
All the way
Correct.
around, okay.
Yeah. Not from a bus perspective, however, from a vehicle's perspective, this would be a drivable path that connects around, but not from a bus perspective.
I have a question. I know the plan. How does this design coincide with the plan for the second driveway? Because wasn't that going to be an exit only?
No, not necessarily, but yes, the second drive, which you can't see on that.
Which would be all the way on the other end.
Yes.
Right here.
That would be actually great for buses when they're leaving. They're not going to mix with, they'll be going
yeah.
down and going right just to the bus garage, and parents and kids are mostly coming up that way. But yes, when we met with Kleiningers, that was all, if you remember, I said, like, when we first started talking about the new building and we had them do the traffic study that never seems to end, that this makes the most sense right now, but will still make sense when there's a new high school sitting there. And so, yes, absolutely.
I do like that the parking lot's not connected. There's like a safe area for students to walk between the buildings and staff and teachers. Like, you don't have to worry about looking both ways, crossing the street,
Right.
parent driving that's not looking or watching carefully for, so I do like that feature a lot.
This definitely addresses my issue with Friday night football and trying to safely move from the front of the building to the football field. I see plenty of
Yes.
sidewalks, so thanks,
Yes.
Robert, appreciate it.
So, kind of our idea, our current entrance to the stadium, sort of just, there's no real grand entrance, and it doesn't almost make sense, because there's no, so if you look, that sidewalk, there's a natural entrance right there to the whole athletic complex.
By the baseball field?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
walk in there, and we could, I've already given Eric the task to work with the boosters to get some money we could actually have it, a nice entrance to our stadium and athletic complex. And he's easily accessible from the high school or easily accessible from the parking.
So would the baseball team, would they have access to a locker room and a bathroom from where they're at, right there?
Yes, I mean, right there are tentatively, locker rooms are right in between the two auxiliary gyms right there.
And that's a conversation that we need to continue to develop with Eric and with Tom and Robert, is that, what really, there's a lot of nuance to those spaces, from training, from locker rooms, supporting all the sports. But yeah, I mean, that would be, the proximity to these facilities and this field is pretty awesome, and then one thing I failed to mention is that this is the main entrance that is going to be for students, for community. This is academic, or this is athletic. So if you are having an event in the gymnasium here, we would have the ability to close this off and also have an event here with two separate entrances. And that was a specific ask in a specific, situation where, we can do that. So now it's, again, reinforcing this idea of, like, if this was kind of the athletic entrance to the Monroe facilities, really having that strengthen.
Yeah.
And even though the areas, and correct me if I'm wrong, Pat, those are just kind of the areas, the fine details about where exactly are the locker rooms and what do they look like, and we're still
right.
not there yet. We're like, we know we want them in this general area, but we haven't got to the fine details of the design.
Right, I mean, you can see they're kind of blocks, we know about how
Right.
big they are, but I mean, even within the administration area, I mean, how that works, I mean, we still have to go through a lot of iteration to understand and hear a lot more about, how we're going to think about moving students through, especially with counseling and those types of things, and really get a better understanding. But the same thing goes with the locker rooms.
Like, if you look at the main gym, it's just a placeholder for square footage. The first time we met, there was like a stenciled basketball court, and it wasn't centered, and Eric's like, we can't have the basketball.
I know.
And he's like, it's just a placeholder.
Dial back the
Yes,
schematics a
yep,
little bit.
yep.
Yeah. So did you say there's a main gym and an auxiliary gym?
The main gym is this
So
gym.
two
and then
gyms there?
There's an auxiliary gym right here.
Okay.
That one is not going to be called the jail gym, correct?
Oh, really?
Can we make it look like the jail gym?
Can we use the bars?
Yeah, you can
Repurpose
repurpose the bars.
Yes.
What's the biggest challenge about where you're at, though? Obviously, you worked through challenges to get to this point. What do you foresee the biggest challenge right now, where we sit today with that positioning?
Challenge in what regards? From like operations, from?
Just anything that you foresee being, any type of things that's like, it's not ideal, but it's not as bad as moving the building over there. I mean, are there anything that you guys are kind of like weary of, the positioning, the layout of the building, the angle of the building, the towards the sun, any of that kind of weird stuff. that
Sure.
You're kind of like, it would be ideal if we could turn it 10 degrees, but we can't.
Oh, man, we've
Anything like-
rotated this building around.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's a really great question, because that's the process, right? Is, and especially internally, it's what works, what fails. And, I mean, we've had iterations with the building closer here, there was a point where this whole area was turned north.
Yeah.
Things were getting long, we weren't able to fit. And then you started blocking ways to get around and use the other functional aspects of the site. So we're like, okay, and this was before one of our meetings. Our landscape architect goes, hey, what if we just rotated that 30 degrees? Like, we're gonna meet tomorrow. Like, this is trust me, our engineers were not happy with this. But we did it, and we're like, this is brilliant. And it's that. So challenges are part of the process, and it's encouraged, because then you're getting to the right solution. And for us, I mean, yes, it has been, this is a big building. It is a longer building in some regards. It is to stay away from this southern portion of the site. Don't let all these lines really discourage you. These are 1-foot contours, so it looks really tight, but that's the idea, is we're really trying to minimize how far we get down there and get involved. And so this has been a really nice compromise from where we used to be.
I have a question about the practice field you have behind the gym, that right there. Like how big is it? I think it would just be nice to have like 50 yards.
It's half a football field.
Half a football field? Okay.
And we can
okay.
turf that?
Absolutely, you're gonna turf
Did we
that.
turf
That's
that?
that's a different
So am
question. We don't.
Right, Eric?
Eric, we can turf that?
Okay.
Oh, got it, let's
actually
put a roof
have-
on it.
Astro.
Is that the adjusted one? Because even Wednesday, we were looking at it and moving some things around.
So there's a lot of flexibility back here to be able, there's not a magic number of these spaces, because we are a little pretty over on, but we're just kind of showing maximum. There's a markup where we've taken the feedback that we've gotten, really just kind of capped it right here, extended this down a bit, and then really kind of create, because I think one of the ideas, that's the weight room. So being able to kind of use right out of the weight room, that area would be kind of beneficial.
Where's deliveries at for this?
Oh, come on, right there.
Okay.
So that space we're going to reserve to be, again, we don't really want it happening up here in front. They'll be able to come around, and then they're delivering back here, because that's your main quarter. That's going to be all your, and that's where your maintenance is occurring too. We have a lot of equipment that's going to be slated for this area back here.
And expansion.
The-
How do
yeah.
we expand this building to add 10 more classrooms in 20 years? Yeah.
I think it's, yeah.
This dotted line
Okay,
and this dotted line.
Okay.
You can see we've graded this out, so that in the future, you can add basically a cumulative 8 classrooms. Now, what you'll see is if I put a classroom here and here, it's way short of this.
Right.
That, you still need space out beyond the walls. So it's giving enough room to be able to do this in a constructible way that does not impact. So we've already kind of padded this out for an additional classrooms. So
and this is all 2-story, pretty much the entire thing?
two stories, two floors from here down.
Okay.
There's stairs right here.
Okay,
And you come up, and that's where like you have science labs up. You got your tech labs, your art rooms over here. There's some open to below, and again to create. There was a big conversation around feeling disconnected if I'm on the second or first floor. I don't know what's going on. So we're really introducing some space to be able to have connection between floors. So that's happening here. This is a 2-story volume, so a bit taller than this space here. And then everything else is kind of single story, admin single story. These are all, they're just kind of different heights.
The biggest challenge that I've had during this process is that as we look at, OFCC will give you, this is how many rooms you need, this is how many kids. And I know we need to build for some more. And so as we look at spaces that, hey, that's a really cool open space that's neat, but I need it closed in, I need another classroom. So, but there's that balance. I don't want to open the school and have eight empty classrooms. That's not good too. So finding that balance and working with Mr. Prohaska and Mr. Silverman and Thad and his team, they've been so good about understanding, listen, we still want this to be a really nice building that the community can be proud of, but we also understand that there's only so many square footage that you guys are given. And so, but something I have not compromised on is the common, like that, the cafeteria,
Yeah.
it'll be able to, I said, it has to seat 500 kids.
Yeah, I agree.
It can't, like, you can't go back and add on to that.
You
later.
can't
Like,
add to
that
it,
has
so.
to be where, as we can, if, again, 10 years down the road, if we are growing and do have to add on, that cafeteria needs to be able to accommodate that without an addition.
And are we thinking the baseball field can remain as is in this schematic? So rooftop seating for some,
Eric's very concerned about foul balls on the roof possibly.
I'm kind of serious,
because
I'm kind of being
he
serious
said
actually
we
about the
have-
foul balls and stuff, but.
We did talk about some netting, just because.
Yeah.
But lighting may be an option, since we'll have a lot more power in the area.
You need 8 poles for a varsity football field.
We need to,
Yeah.
8 poles. So they have to be, yeah.
8 poles.
I need to talk to you after this.
Okay.
About something else.
Yeah. I do think the baseball field needs upgraded. I know that's a whole different topic, but I do
We actually
think
had
that needs some.
conversation, about, we've talked about doing some upgrades to the bat. I think Mr. Carpenter talked about, breaking the backstops on both
Yeah.
softball.
Don't get me
and-
excited.
Softball and
I'm gonna
baseball,
get-
yes.
I'm gonna go off.
Yeah.
And already doing some things, that would be a really good time to look at those.
Just go to Elder.
Yeah.
Just go to,
Oh.
just
It
go to
definitely
Elder.
needs some upgrades.
Yep.
You mean Moeller?
I haven't been to Monroe.
You mean go to
But I'm
the
just,
Crimcheck
talking about the
Stadium?
layout.
Gotcha.
it looks
That's what
nice.
you meant.
Good job.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I really like the green space as well. I mean, it's still a pretty good walk. I mean, I'm trying to envision like some of the things our kids are going to have to endure as far as, the auditorium is going to be a talking point. We all know it. Getting our high schoolers from this, one school to the other to be able to do what they need to do in the performing arts is, that's a walk. So,
But I'll be honest, during the day, that's not gonna happen. It's gonna be after school,
Right.
just like when they're done with the fields and
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever, so. Occasionally when it gets close to performance time, the choirs and bands will probably head over there for
Right.
something, but for the most part, there's areas within the band room, the cafeteria, which will be the cafeteria, so to speak, that they'll have areas to do that with.
So yeah, I love the idea of having, seated areas and different things that can happen in that green space as well. Not just for educational, but I mean, the ball field's right there. I mean, that's gonna be a great
Yep.
place for the community to be able to take advantage of being just on campus in general, so. It's good, I like it.
It's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we do plan on landscaping all that green space, right? Trees and all the
There
stuff.
is landscaping built into, I know the whole package, it always is.
Oh, there's definitely co-funded landscaping
Yeah.
Certain things.
to a degree. And then, I think when we get to that point and we start really visualizing, because at this point with the site, we're trying to help communicate to the contractor to what degree are we thinking about improvements? Is this going to be the final layout? Probably not, but at least they understand that we're talking about not just one singular sidewalk from the middle school to the new high school. I mean, I can already say, we're already talking about the realistic, do they really do this and then here, or do they just go to a center, more quad-like type thing there, and then that, so,
I think making it a hive almost is, I mean.
oh, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
I mean, that's a normal thing in design, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So this just one thing that we kind of all landed on is we really do like, from this parking, being able to very, in an arc-like fashion, very casually, then get to what could be the future, athletic entrance, and then same going from here.
Yeah.
our team is excited. It's been such a great process working with the district. I mean, it's been, I would say sometimes challenges are decision-making. That has not been a problem. This has been very open and fluid and very transparent, and it's been very easy to work with and design.
All right, keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have that built in a couple months?
Oh, yeah, sure. I actually have the design in my pocket right here, so we're just gonna go.
Just holding out?
Yeah, just holding out, just holding out.
Thank you for the presentation. That was
Yeah,
really good.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
You found your keys.
Yeah. Thank you.
See you, thank you.
Have a good night. All right, moving on to item 3.3, superintendent update. Mr. Buskirk.
Thank you, Mr. Carpenter. I'll be brief. Most of it was, talking about the new high school, which has taken up a lot of time. I do want to talk about the start of the school year. It really has been a tremendous start of the school year. A number of people have talked about how it's been one of the smoothest starts they've had in their careers, let alone, the last couple of years. So overall, it has been great. There's always little bumps along the way with different things, but overall, our transportation, our staff, our cafeteria, everybody has worked really hard to have a really good start. Mrs. Hagedorn mentioned the staggered start and how the ninth grade day was new this year. That kind of came about from, after we did the staggered start, we surveyed staff and kids about what your thoughts were on staggered start, and everybody seems to really love it, except the high school. They actually hated it. They did not like it at all, and so Mr. Prohaska and his staff really looked at that and said, okay, what can we do differently? The high school kids said, when we start, we just want to start. But we thought it was a really unique opportunity to bring just the freshmen in and have kind of a freshman day so they get oriented to the high school. You had a ton of upperclassmen here helping that day as it was, and then everybody just started the next day, and it was a really big success. So, again, thank you to everybody that planned that freshman day, but also I love the idea of talking to the kids and staff and listening to their feedback and making changes. So, a lot of summer capital projects that I shared last time are wrapping up. As you leave today, take a look at the elementary playground. All the equipment has been repainted, and the fence has been repaired, new gates, and that's all been painted. Looks really nice over there. We've also been working really hard on the 5-year capital improvement plan, and I think I shared with you guys last week that we are working to get a complete facility audit to look at a lot more of the details of the mechanicals and getting down to the nitty-gritty. I don't want to be a district that's reactive and Band-Aids. I want, preventative maintenance, looking at things, and so we'll continue to work on that and improve that. The gym infill project is going really well. It's on schedule. They're ready to be completed December and us move in January. They have drywall's up, it's painted, grids are in, ceiling lights are in. They are really moving along quickly, and it's exciting. It'll be great for our students and staff here starting second semester. And then obviously the new high school design has been going well, and I know Thad showed a lot with that. But as I said again, the biggest challenge right now is, OFCC says this is how many kids you have, this is how much square footage you have. And so we have to work within those confines and really do balance. We want a great building that the community can be proud of, but we also need to utilize as much square footage as possible so our kids have enough room. So, all right, and that's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Buskirk. Moving on to Section 4, Treasurer Consent Agenda.
I recommend approval of the treasurer's consent agenda as presented.
May I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Fulham. Mrs. Moore.
So the normal items on the consent agenda, we have the treasurer's financial report. There's a July report in there, and it is pretty basic. It's only 1 month end. The item that I would note when you look at that report, it is tied to our last forecast that we updated in June, which was prior to all the final votes on the state budget, but then there might be vetoes, so it will change. That's my point. So it's there. It's probably ballpark, but things will change, and especially as we get new information regarding vetoes and overrides. Outside of that, there's the bond fund report. There are the donations. And we do have to appoint a delegate and alternate for the OSBA annual business meeting. And I did not have names. Are we keeping it the same?
I
or-
talked to Tom, he said he was fine to stay if we wanted to.
Yeah, I spoke with Mr. Leeds today also. He said he'd be more than willing to be the delegate.
I think he's done,
Okay.
has he done that for, I don't know.
A few years.
Yeah,
now.
he's done it the last 2 years that I know of, and prior, before that, he was did
Yeah.
as well. So Tom,
I have no problems with that.
yeah.
I'm good with Tom.
All right, we'll
So-
put Mr. Leeds as the delegate.
I don't mind remaining, but if somebody wants to be the backup, I don't mind either way.
Yeah, I could do it if
Wanna be the
needed to,
alternate,
as
Debbie?
being alternate as well.
It's fine.
We'll be there.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Cool. You good with that?
Yeah.
All right, we'll put Ms. Hagedorn as the alternate.
Mr. Leeds just asked that we book as early as possible to try to get in the actual,
I will do my best, but I'm telling you, I was on there waiting to do it as
It's like a
soon
Taylor
as the
Swift
clock
concert.
turned. It opens up, and it was a frenzy, and everyone, by the time I typed in all the information, it was gone. And you go to the next hotel, and you're like, oh, it's not my favorite process, but
Yeah.
I
I
will
told
do.
Tom he could figure it out himself.
I will do better.
I
Oh,
can
gosh,
say,
no.
Amy, I went 2 years ago. I know AJ went last year. I went 2 years ago. I didn't stay, I stayed, but not in the building, not in hotels connecting. They had shuttles. It was fine
Okay.
to take a shuttle to a different place. It really wasn't.
Yeah.
Mr. Leeds is a little more high maintenance than
I mean,
Mrs. Hagedorn. He's not here to defend himself, so.
he's not here to
Little
defend
bougie.
himself,
Well,
so.
yeah, he's a little bougie.
All right. Well, we will do better this year for sure.
I think
We'll
we
make
should
it
all
happen.
consider going to that as a group. I think that would be a fun
Yeah,
experience
I-
for us to go to get, like, for all of us to go.
I really enjoyed it. I learned quite a bit. Sat in many sessions, and it was good. I agree. I think it's a good opportunity for us to get up there and meet with peers and see what other schools are doing, and especially schools that, one of the biggest takeaways for me at the time was just listening to schools who have gone through the process
Yep.
that we're going through now with the building, and hearing the good and the bad, and talking to a couple of them about things that, everything that we're on top of, they expressed. I don't think that we're missing anything, but that was really helpful for me a year ago to be able to feel that through them, so.
Exactly. So that's a conversation we continue having. When it's time to register, we should see.
Yeah.
That's
Who's on?
soon-ish.
Very
Yeah,
soon-ish?
very
Okay.
soon.
Yeah.
October, is that October?
November
September.
Is that
16th.
September? Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So
September what?
I'll send you another email.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
do.
I've already got like 6 from the OSBA
Yeah.
to register. I thought it was October.
I do apologize. I skipped over donations. We have several donations, so thank you.
You said it.
For the
You said
donation.
it.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like
We were
I
gonna thank
skipped
them.
it. And then the only other thing, I did have a slide, because you had mentioned our finance committee, subcommittee meeting, August 11th. And so this is very brief. We talked longer than what I'm going to talk here. We just briefly went over salaries, benefits, the costs, the ratios, and a little bit of staffing history. And I mentioned that one of the goals with Mr. Kramer here, since he's been here less than a month, we don't have it done yet, but we're working on somewhat of a position control list with FTEs. But basically, you've heard this before, salaries and benefits are about 73% of our total spend in the general fund. I am leaving out grant funds at this point. But we do contract quite a bit, Peterman and Sodexo being our largest, and that would bring our total salaries, if we consider all the staffing that we have through them, be about 82% of our total spend. And then if you want to scroll down. Or just
Page
scroll.
2. I think you have to go to
okay.
page 2.
Yeah, there's, up a little bit. So this is just the breakdown of salaries versus benefits. You can tell that the salaries are a good chunk, but benefits are not cheap either, with actually insurance and retirement being the top two out of that group. That's 98% of the benefits is the insurances and the pension. So then next. So there are so many ways to present payroll and employment numbers. There are FTEs, there are body counts, if you will. This is just based on a single payroll in November of last year, how many people were paid and in what roles. I have background data to this too. But this just kind of shows our last 4 years of employment and how we've increased it. And then compared to, if you scroll down, our enrollment is kind of more flatlined. So we have been backfilling for the times when we were understaffed. So I think we've gotten back up there. Again, we also talked about our future because staffing is going to be a big discussion for the future. We'll have some changes for sure when the building opens. Right now, there's some shared positions. We'll have to talk about what to do with those. So we'll have a lot of conversations for the future as well. But it is something, with being our largest expense, just something that we will continue to talk about and keep on top of.
Excellent. Any questions?
Is all the money where it's supposed to be?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you for the donations.
Yes.
Yes, thank you for the donations.
All right. Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Yes. Mr. Grant?
Aye.
Yeah, I think it was me.
Yeah. Fulham. Mr. Fulham?
Yep.
Aye.
Mrs. Hagedorn?
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter?
Aye. Motion carried. Thank you, Mrs. Moore. Moving on to Section 5, Superintendent Personnel Consent Agenda. Mr. Buzzkirk.
It's recommended the approval of the superintendent HR personnel consent agenda.
May I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs.
Second.
Hagedorn. Thank you, Mr. Grant, for the second. All right. Mr. Buzzkirk.
A little light this time of year, which it should be for HR. We do have 2 retirements that have put in, and those are 2 fantastic individuals who've done a lot for this district, and obviously they're finishing out this school year, but they are going to be greatly missed. We just had a correction on one of the last month's agenda. Then we have some salary increases for people that have done classes and moved up on their salary schedule. So congratulations to them. Some extracurricular contracts and some substitutes.
Any questions?
No.
All right. Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Mrs. Hagedorn?
Aye.
Mr. Grant?
Aye.
Mr. Fulham?
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter?
Aye. Motion carried. Section 6, Superintendent Other Business Consent Agenda.
It's recommended the approval of the superintendent other business consent agenda as presented.
May I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Fulham.
Second?
Thank you, Mr. Grant. All right, Mr. Buzzkirk.
We have a transportation impractical, so the payment in lieu of for some students. The contract with Maxim Nursing. Every year we have to board approve all of the bus stops and bus routes for the school year. And that's it for that section.
Any questions?
I just, I know of a particular stop from a family member that got added in the new neighborhood over here.
Todd Hunter.
Yeah, and so I just want to let transportation know my appreciation for addressing that, because the original stop was probably not ideal, and I know that that was a big concern for the family member.
It was,
being able to bring the buses into the.
Apparently, we are not legally, this is something I just found out because we were just talking about it, that we cannot go into a neighborhood until it is turned over to the city for
Really?
maintenance.
Really?
Ah,
So, once it is completed and turned over to the city for maintenance.
Okay.
Then we're allowed to go into the
Is
neighborhood.
it
Which
considered a
makes
private
sense.
drive at that point?
I think it's that, and then inclement weather, they're not gonna go in there
And plow it.
and plow it until it's turned over to the city. And then thirdly, the biggest problem with the Todd Hunter, it's kind of one way in and one way out, except for the turnarounds. And if there's construction vehicles in there, that they
Log jam.
backing a bus all the way down there.
Right.
Yeah.
So now it's complete and turn over to the city. We have
Yeah.
they've
Okay.
added some
Cool.
stops.
Is there any other neighborhoods that are not?
We
turned
were
over
just
to the city?
discussing a new section of crossings that they are, it's not
Crossings.
turned over to the city yet, but it's very close.
Okay.
Yeah, but this one was tough. You can actually get into crossings, I'm sure, but this one, the stop was on Todd Hunter.
Yeah.
So you had,
All the way from the top end, go all the way.
Yeah,
to
you had
the
to walk,
entrance.
not only was it a long distance, but also being, on a
The-
fairly busy
Yeah.
There's basically
Yeah.
one stop and the entire bus
I
was
mean,
filled.
we used to
Yeah.
walk to school uphill
Wow.
both ways.
Okay.
They can.
The hop and barbed wire fence.
Exactly.
But I just wanted, that makes sense why it was like that, but I know that that community is probably much appreciated, the change this year, so good job. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Fulham.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Nope.
All right. Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Mr. Fulham.
Aye.
Mr. Grant.
Aye.
Mrs. Hagedorn.
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter.
Aye, motion carried. Section 7, Superintendent Other Business.
It's rec-
7.1.
Sorry. It's recommended the board approve 5 additional workdays, administrative transition for Mrs. Boggs.
May I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Hagedorn. Any questions? All right. Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Mr. Grant.
Aye.
Mrs. Hagedorn.
Aye.
Mr. Fulham.
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter.
Aye, motion carried. Item 7.2.
It's recommended to approve the purchase of 8 Clever Touch screens, and this will complete the purchases for the 4th grade elementary building, so it'll all be
Clever.
May I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Fulham.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Hagedorn. Any questions?
So those are, when we'll get those, this is a purchase order, and then, so we haven't got them yet, or we have,
I think they've been ordered already, haven't
Okay.
they? But, yeah.
so we should get them pretty quickly?
What are the difference between these ones and the ones we approved? Didn't we approve
The
some?
last
We
time
did.
we approved them, and they were for the new edition.
Okay, that's
There's
right.
8 of them for the new edition, and then 4 that went to the elementary, and then this completes. the
That's good.
elementary.
This completes the rest, okay.
Yep.
Any other questions?
What's the life on these typically, just?
1 year.
Planned obsolescence.
We get like 3 or 4 years out? No, we should get at
We get
least
more.
8 to 10 years, right?
10 years,
Yeah.
depends on how much they're touched.
Sure.
But, 10 fingers can touch at the same time.
Sure.
So Younger kids are going to be, they'll go out before you go.
They got elbows going.
That's good, though. My daughter did a presentation on one at the primary school, and she needed to use it to touch and interact with what she was presenting, and she loves it. So, I mean, these things are awesome for the kids, for sure, so.
Any other questions? Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Mr. Fulham.
Aye.
Mrs. Hagedorn.
Aye.
Mr. Grant.
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter.
Aye, motion carried. Item 7.3.
It's recommended the approval of the purchase of the 4 modular classrooms from Middletown Schools.
May I get a motion?
So moved?
Thank you, Mr. Fulham.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Grant. Questions?
Can you just remind, I mean, we got these for a
Nothing.
really good deal.
Yeah,
I mean, these are
bargain.
very expensive new, and
Yep.
they seem extremely
They're,
affordable.
when I went over, they're practically brand new, and they didn't even, they got them for what they thought their enrollment was going to increase, and it never really did, so they barely used them, so, and basically, they're selling them to us for the price to
Move them.
fix the fence and replace the grass where they're sitting and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, a few years ago, we looked at leasing, and it was
There's
7
hundreds of
figures.
thousands,
It was
yeah.
7 figures to lease
Yeah.
them,
Yeah,
so.
And these are going to the primary?
yes. Yep.
Have they started site work or anything for the,
We're waiting on them. They had to approve the
purchase, the
sale
sale.
of them. And I think their board meeting's tomorrow, maybe? Or,
Yeah, it got moved, but they also wanted us to do this
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, understandably.
Yeah.
And these are going to be used for regular
For-
general class or music or?
art and music and counseling and. yeah,
Okay.
they-
Because I know you had to rearrange art and music and everything
Yep.
this year.
Hopefully we get them so they can get in there here.
Okay.
I was going to ask, what's the time frame for this, once we approve it and then they approve
It was
it?
up to me. Start moving them tomorrow, but.
Tomorrow?
It will be very quick.
Yeah,
Will it?
I
Okay.
hope quicker than.
Okay.
Excellent. Cool. Awesome. Good find. Good job.
yeah, this is great. Any other questions? Ms. Moore, please call the roll.
Mr. Fulham?
Aye.
Mr. Grant?
Aye.
Mrs. Hagedorn?
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter?
Aye, motion carried. Item 7.4,
It's recommended the board approve the purchase of some additional reading language arts textbooks, grades 1 to 4.
may I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Hagedorn. Is this just the textbooks that we just purchased? They just needed
Increased
some.
enrollment, they needed some at each grade level.
Okay, that makes sense. Any other questions?
Nope.
All right. Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Mr. Grant?
Aye.
Mrs. Hagedorn?
Aye.
Mr. Fulham?
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter?
Aye, motion carried. Item 7.5,
It's recommended to approve the annual amendment with Sodexo. If you can see, it's a 3.5% adjustment.
may I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Hagedorn.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
I'm like Dave. I'm thinking, where are my cookies? Because I haven't had.
This was maintenance.
maintenance.
Oh, is this maintenance?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm still, every time I see Sodexo, I just
Yeah.
remember.
I thought we got cookies in
We
like
did.
April or May.
I didn't
We
get
did-
'em.
We didn't this time.
No.
We need to talk to
We need to talk to
We
them about
need to.
that. 3%.
We need a tray.
We need a tray each.
A tray of cookies.
Those, I don't even like cookies.
That's just crazy.
It's crazy.
They have that one flavor that's really good.
Sorry.
Cookies for the entire room.
I'm,
You're gonna make it rain.
every meeting,
Talking cookies.
really, at this point.
Oh, my God.
Okay, I'm
Chocolate
sorry.
milk.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna entertain any more questions or comments on this one.
I do, you'd mentioned, I think you answered my question. You said this had a 3.5% increase from last year? Okay, I thought that's what I heard.
Yep.
Where? Oh, well, I didn't flip
It's
it.
hidden. I know, it's hidden. It's all right.
Okay.
All right. Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Mrs. Hagedorn?
Aye.
Mr. Grant?
Aye.
Mr. Fulham?
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter?
Aye, motion carried. Item 7.6,
It's recommended the approval of the proposal from DeBrock Hempel for the replacement of light poles and fixtures on main campus.
may I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Fulham.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
If you recall, we had, a couple years ago, we had a few that we need to replace. These are some additional, and we'll also take a look to see, a regular maintenance plan to make sure we continue to look at them and make sure that they are replaced in a timely fashion.
So I have a question. I actually noticed this for some reason driving up the hill the other day. Are these, these are just the light fixtures that I'm talking about, but I know we replaced one that was down, and that one looks different than most of the other ones. Are we going to have consistency in the fixtures themselves, or by ordering 3 or 4 piecemeals to fix it, will we get into a situation where we have inconsistencies on the actual fixtures?
Well, I think that I can speak a little bit to
Professionally,
it.
yeah.
Who did our lighting retrofit, which was
Energy Harbor?
Energy Optimizers. They did our lighting retrofit. So I think the new ones that we've been doing are not, the newer ones we're getting are not made in China. So these ones will look a little bit more consistent, and they're all made consistently now. So, the area lights will all be consistent. They should be. Doesn't matter which manufacturer, if we went with a major manufacturer.
And eventually they'll all be replaced. replaced, so hopefully.
That's true. That's true.
And then with this, with the ones we replaced not too long ago, and then with these, that would be, all of them would have been
We still
new?
have some more to go.
We still have some others, okay.
Was this just looking at the lights on the drive, or is this looking at all of the parking lights?
All of the parking lot, up the hill, and actually, two of them are right in front of the buildings. They're going into the activity entrances.
Okay.
The only question I had, when I looked through their proposal, I didn't see anywhere in their proposal, like, what manufacturer they were proposing. I was just curious, does anyone know that?
It's Don is the guy who, I can't remember the company.
That's all right, it's no big deal. I was just curious. I was looking through it because they didn't put in there, like, what manufacturer they were using.
No.
So I was just curious.
I don't know.
Okay.
I can get that for you.
Any other questions?
No?
No.
Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Mr. Fulham?
Aye.
Mr. Grant?
Aye.
Mrs. Hagedorn?
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter?
Aye, motion carried. Item 7.7,
It's recommended the approval of the agreement with Comfort Systems for HVAC preventative maintenance.
may I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
Second,
Thank you, Mrs. Hagedorn.
So this is the annual? Annual?
It is. We
Quarterly
approved one, it used to go from March to February.
Yeah.
And so we changed up the period, so this replaces that one, and now it's going July to June.
Okay. That's actually pretty reasonable.
Did the price change much? Do you
Honestly,
recall?
I think it went down a little bit,
Okay, well, don't.
because I
talk-
think the
Shh,
last
shh.
one
Okay, all right, all right.
was I mean, just like a hair.
Yeah.
That's, a hair down right now. I mean,
Yeah.
flat is down right now, right?
Yeah.
So- All right.
I could be wrong on that, but
Oh,
I'm
great.
sorry.
Oh, here we
I'm
go.
sorry. Now you're making me second guess myself.
Don't second guess yourself. It's all right.
You know you'll have an email by the time.
I know. I'll be walking
will.
out. Ding.
I'll be like, wait, or I'll remember it right after the
that's all right.
meeting.
You would know if it was significantly up. All right, let's put it that way, so we're good.
It was not a big change.
All right.
And I already checked that we were not going to pay on the old one anymore, so.
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Mr. Grant?
Aye.
Mrs. Hagedorn?
Aye.
Mr. Fulham?
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter?
Aye, motion carried. Item 7.8,
It's recommended to approve the SRO agreement with the city of Monroe for the two resource officers.
may I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Fulham.
So, second.
Thank you, Mr. Grant. Any questions?
No?
I don't,
I do have one. Is this our portion?
Yes.
Okay.
Did this change from last year?
Yeah, it went,
Yep.
if you recall, that it was, the previous was 50/50, and they wanted to go, us pay the entire, and we got it to 75/25, so this is
Okay.
the 75
so,
portion,
yeah.
which is consistent with most other SROs in
Yeah.
the other counties,
Yeah.
or other
Right.
school districts. And
I think it's just disappointing
Jurisdictions.
that they're changing it from 50/50 to 75/25, but safety first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Since we're paying most of the wage, can we get them like a cool Hornet patch or something?
Should be able to. The badge should have like a
Yeah.
hornet.
Hornet.
Adam
Badge.
worked on it. Is Adam here?
Yeah, he's right
There
there.
he is. Adam, get that. worked
He's
on.
already making one.
It's already done.
You get leather, something. Be cool.
No, before that'd be pretty sweet. Let's be real. All right, any other questions?
Be a
I'm terrible
volunteer-
at
a
this. I'm
volunteer
terrible
deputy
at
or
this.
something.
All right, Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Mr. Fulham?
Aye.
Mr. Grant?
Aye.
Mrs. Hagedorn?
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter?
Aye, motion carried. Item 7.9,
It's recommended the board approve the huddle contract for the 2026 school year.
may I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Grant, for the motion, and thank you, Mr. Fulham, for the second.
And I saw a good.
Boosters pays
I
half.
was gonna say, a good chunk of it came from the boosters, I noticed on the donations, so. Our players are This is where they get to go in and pull, create highlights, and also we use
Coaches
it-
can scout,
Coaches
coaches
scouting.
use film, kids
Yeah.
have their own individual accounts,
Yeah.
they can make their highlights. Yeah, it's really a nice product for kids and coaches.
So are the videos already open to like college coaches, or do we have to make those open to them?
No, but they can be compiled and shared.
Yeah.
So like college coaches can't go in and see, but they can take the information and share it with them.
Yeah.
This is also what we use for the live broadcaster now.
That we're not, yeah, 'cause we're still under a contract with the NFHS network.
That's right, okay.
Any
But
other
it is
questions?
very handy. I know, like my own daughter, she's able to share her videos, highlights with whoever asks for them, so it's very, very handy.
Yeah. I knew Zach used it. It was a good feature when he was applying for colleges and sports and things, so
Absolutely. Good.
it's well worth it.
All right. Excellent. Any other questions? Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Mr. Grant?
Aye.
Mr. Fulham?
Aye.
Mrs. Hagedorn?
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter?
Aye. Motion carried. Thank you, Mr. Buskirk. Moving on to Section 8, comments from the board. Mrs. Hagedorn, you get to start us off
I get to
tonight.
go first tonight.
This is crazy.
I'd like to recognize or thank Robert and the staff with all the projects that going on at one time with the gym infill, the summer projects, capital projects around campus, and working with the new building, all that. It's a lot of work all at the same time. So thank you for everything you've done and everybody else that's helped with you. I know it's a lot of people involved with all of those projects, so it's all good things coming. I'd like to also start with congratulations to the great start of the school year. I know we didn't have anything that I know of, and you had mentioned it went smooth. No fire drills, no craziness, no anything going on. So that was always a good thing. I did enjoy looking at the layout of the new school, or the layout, the beginnings of it. I know changes will always happen, but I really liked it. The green space, the walk-arounds, the parking. I think it's very exciting. Good things are going to be coming. So that's really all I wanted to say.
All right.
Good.
Thank you, Mrs. Hagedorn. Mr. Grant?
I will second what Debbie said regarding all the projects going on, so kudos to everybody. There is a lot going on, and there's a lot of work going into it, so I appreciate everyone's efforts on those. Secondly, as Debbie said, I'd say the last few years, no phone calls, no emails about anything at the beginning of school, so that is always great news. So again, kudos to everyone involved in making the start of the school year so smooth. And my apologies again for missing Friday night. I'm good the rest of the year. That's good.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Grant.
Excellent.
All right, Mr. Fulham, you're up.
Got some high fives from around the hive. High five to everyone who contributed to a great start to a new school year. The summer seems to fly by each year, and I appreciate everyone for their commitment to kicking off the 25-26 school year with excitement for our students, information for our parents, and guidance for our staff. We have so much to accomplish this year, and I'm thankful for the team that we have here in Hornet Country. High five to senior Addie Bevac, who led the way with a first-place finish in the girls' varsity division at the Alex Foltz Cross Country Invitational, which was held last week with her time of 13 minutes and 52.7 seconds on a 2-mile. Over the years, I've always had a scheduling conflict, so I was excited to attend this year and watch our student athletes compete to kick off their season. And high five to our staff who oversee and assist with pickup and drop-off. I drop off both my children at main campus and primary school each morning, and I'm always impressed with the efficiency and care that is taken to make things easy for our students and parents. Keep up the great work. Fiend.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Fulham.
All done.
I don't really know what else there is to add to
Come
that.
on.
There's nothing.
But
The challenge is real, Tim.
Say something about the handshake
It
contest.
I'm
stinks
trying to
being in
come up
this
with like
seat.
a nice like Tomism right now.
Tom
It
is
stinks being in this seat, doesn't it?
Yeah. sometimes.
I mean-
It's kind of nice, though.
At the comments, there's
Needs to be
nothing left to
like-
say. Ditto.
Great job, everybody. No, but to Debbie's point, like, it was great to see, like, a visualization of where the building's gonna go, kind of see what that concept looks like. I know we've been talking about it for a long time, so to, like, actually see what it might actually look like gets me pretty jazzed up to get this thing going. Might bring my shovel up here later and just start digging a hole, I don't know. But, I mean, you guys are welcome, I mean, come on. Gotta get this thing rolling somehow. And just welcome back, everybody, and let's keep the momentum going forward. And with that, I will entertain a motion for adjournment at 7:16 PM.
So moved.
Thank
Second.
you, Mr. Grant, and thank you, Mrs. Hagedorn. Mrs. Moore, please call the roll.
Mr. Grant?
Aye.
Mrs. Hagedorn?
Aye.
Mr. Fulham?
Aye.
Mr. Carpenter?
Aye, motion